We'll do one more still here.
Holding the shirt which way? That way?
Yeah, perfect.
Number 1 now.
And then just to the cameras.
Yeah, up there. That's all right, isn't it? That's the most uncomfortable you can get.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to Old Trafford for the unveiling of our new manager. Ollie will say a few words on his appointment, and then we'll take questions from the floor. Thank you.
You know, when people get a new job and they say it's the dream job they've had and they've always dreamt about or play for that club or manage this club, that's more true to me than to anyone. This has been my, of course, ultimate dream all the time. Maybe a naive dream, but I've always had that dream in my mind to have this responsibility for this huge, fantastic family of a football club, and I'm so honoured and privileged to be given this fantastic responsibility to lead us forward.
You're properly at the wheel.
Oh well.
How does it feel? But I mean, how does this? You've achieved so much. You've achieved so much at this football club. How does this rank alongside? How proud is today?
I don't think proud is the right word. I'm happy, I'm honoured, because it's a fresh start. It's start of something new again. It's now the hard work starts. Now it's not hard work, the enjoyable work, hard work. So it's not a moment to be proud in that respect.
Ollie, when Sir Alex Ferguson first took over, he vowed to knock Liverpool off their effing perch.
Yeah.
Have you got,
did he say that on his first day? I don't think he did he?
Well, have you got a vow that may come back to haunt you or not?
You know, I'm just going to be myself, as I've always been, and I know how the expectations of the club, traditions of the club, the history we've got. Of course I want to be successful, of course I want us to lift trophies, but I can't wait to get onto the job, onto the challenge of improving this great bunch of players, because it's a squad full of potential that I work with them for 3 months, or we have worked for 3 months as a staff, as a group, and the improvement is there to be seen, and we know there's so much more to come from them. We can see so much more improvement, because we see them every single day in training. The attitude has been fantastic, but we know we got a way to go. But lifting the trophy, I'm sure we'll be successful.
This season?
We've got a chance, of course we have. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a mountain to climb, but we've climbed a few mountains before.
Ollie, you are the permanent man now. Just what kind of targets have you been set for this season, and also what discussions have you had with those above about players coming in and what kind of budget you might have?
Of course, when I got the job, we were 11 points behind fourth. Now we've given ourselves a great chance to be in the top 4 and even top 3. So that's got to be the short-term target in the league, and Premier League is vital for us. And of course we've been discussing how to move the club forward. That doesn't mean we've said X amount of money or X amount of players. We have sat down and discussed, but now it's easier to be clear about what we need to do, because we will do some business this summer.
Ollie, is finishing in the top 4 going to shape the short-term future of Manchester United in terms of having the kudos of being in the Champions League again and being able to bring in a better standard of player?
Of course, the lure, if you want, of Champions League is important for. It might be important for some players, but to play for Man United, If you sign a contract for 5 years or 4 years, you know that you're gonna be playing Champions League. We are now in a great position to get into the Champions League, but that's not decided until 12th of May probably. So we need to get going before then with talks about players, with players, who's going to stay here, and so. But that's not the. I still say the same. I love working with these boys, and the improvement have been there. So that's the short-term priority now to improve. And 8 games to go. We got 2, so a quarter of what's left of the season against 2 fantastically improved teams, Watford and Wolves, best of the rest at the moment. So our focus is on and mine is on those 2 games. It's not been easy the last few days, of course, because all this has been going on. But I have to say that my short-term focus is just these games.
Ole, it's a bit of an open goal question, but have you spoken to Sir Alex since you've been confirmed?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Any chance we can find out?
No, of course, I'm not going to discuss what we spoke about, but of course it's one of the first phone calls you make when things more or less were decided.
Ole, do you hope that your appointment, now that it's permanent, will convince some of the players? So everyone's talking about the transfer window and what happens next season, but what about the players that are here that you want to keep as well? Do you hope that will convince them to stay?
Well, you have to ask them, because, but of course, to know who's the manager for the club next season is of course helpful for any player to decide where he wants to play. We've got a couple of players that we're in talks with, and hopefully we can get their future sorted.
Hi Ole, everybody around here says that the club has changed almost overnight since you arrived. What do you put that down to? What have you done?
What I've done, what we've done, the club's done, but I've come in, tried to, because it's about putting a smile on people's faces, whether you do it by winning games, or you go and speak to them, or you have meetings. It's about creating an environment that everyone wants to be part of, working in, feeling that they can be their best self. I just want to be the best Ole. That's the only promise I can give. But that's giving everyone at the club a responsibility and a freedom to be the best themselves as well, if you know what I mean. Even if, of course, when you win games, staff will be happy, supporters will be happy as well, and players will be happy. So, but we were lucky and we were good, and we won the first few games. That helped.
And now you've got the job full time. Do you feel under more pressure now? It's you.
It's still not just me. I've said it all along. We do this as a team. We do it together. The staff I've had working with me has been fantastic. I've had some great backing from the owners, from Ed. We keep talking regularly, which is important. Communication is important. When you work with human beings, it's so important. And players have been great. The staff at Carrington, they've been great. Over here, it's been fantastic. So. And the supporters, they've made these 3 months for me just unbelievable. But now it's us together to keep moving forward, keep making progress, because as I said before, we know there's room for improvement, and we have to, because we're too far behind where we want to be.
Ole, you won the biggest trophies as a player with this club. What do you think needs to be done this summer to give you the best opportunity of winning them as a manager? Not just in terms of spending, but in terms of getting the structure right behind the scenes at the club?
It's everything is step by step. You don't make radical changes, and of course I can't wait to get to a pre-season with the players, because obviously each coach and each manager, we've got different ways of playing, different training systems and methods, but we are a huge club with loads of tradition. I know we will be successful, but it's about taking it step by step. It's, as you say, it might be putting the right people in the right positions in different places in the club, and but I have to say we can't complain, can we? It's a fantastically well-run club.
Ole, if you achieve even half as much as a manager here as you did as a player, which would mean more to you?
Of course, what's in the future. I can't say I don't care, but what I've done as a player, what I've done before as a coach or a manager, it doesn't really bother me, because I'm always looking forward. And if I can, when the day I leave here, if I can look back and have had success, that we can lift trophies like I did as a player, of course that's what I would be more happy with. As a player, it was fantastic, of course, to work under the best manager in the world, with the best players in the world, and now I'm at the top, working with these fantastic players. So I think that's a bigger achievement.
And just over 3 months ago, you were watching what was going on here from afar.
Yeah.
Now you're the main man and one of the biggest posts in club football. Can you really believe what's happened here?
Yeah, of course, because it is happening, and but it's, as I said, I've dreamt about it and probably maybe visualized it myself as I did as a player, and we've had 3 months. Yeah, now I'm here permanent. The players have responded fantastically to us coming in, and we're just looking forward to working together to improve this group of players in the club.
Ole, I know that third and fourth this season is the target.
Yeah.
Kind of long term, it's been 6 years since this club won the Premier League. Is that part of your job, part of your responsibility now to end that way?
Definitely, of course. It's as I said here, to lift the Premier League trophy again is what we expect, what we're used to, what we have done so many times. We can't wait for too many years, but we have to take step by step. It's not like it's going to happen overnight, catch in 15, 16, 17 points or wherever we are behind the top teams now.
You said you couldn't wait for pre-season. Would you hope to have your transfer targets in by the start of pre-season, or is that unrealistic given you've just been made permanent manager now?
You know, there's been so many players that have been written about that we've been interested in, and there's so many players or players' agents that had been in touch with our administration that they want to come here, and I'm sure when we decide what we have to do, hopefully we'll get them by pre-season. Yeah.
Ole, when you say you've envisaged it, you've visualised being Manchester United manager, how exactly has that happened and what have you seen?
As a striker, I was always an optimist and thinking positive. And of course, you look back in your own memory bank and how it feels, what it feels like to be a winner and a champion. And these players, I can't wait to see them getting that feeling.
I presume you've already spoken to the players since the appointment. What was their response like, and how important has their support been? Because there was a time earlier in the season when there wasn't necessarily that cohesion between the manager and players.
I wouldn't. Well, players are players, aren't they? They want to come in and do the work. They want to play football. We've had some good chats today, great chats, but most of it was about Watford, to be honest, because we're thinking about that. We've gotten used to working together now, so now they know that I'm staying for a little bit longer than was expected.
Hi Ole. Obviously you've had a fantastic start since coming in, but how do you now guard against complacency in the players now that you've been given the job full time?
players who get complacent, they never last at this club anyway. Managers, I'm the same. I can't be complacent and now rest on, well, I've got a job. That's not me. We're looking forward. We've got to work harder. I've got some targets. I would want a Man United team that's one of the hardest working teams in the league, the fittest teams in the league, and that then will bring results. So I think the players know my expectations on the future.
Ollie, today's all about you, but I know you always rely on your staff. And how's that going to look? Is that going to look the same going forwards? And Mike Phelan, is he going to be left out in the cold, or is he going to?
Of course, Mick is a key part of the setup, and they are talking to each other. Of course, I've voiced my opinion, and the setup that we have now, I really hope that's going to continue. That the staff we have, we work so well together, which is a key to having success and to getting results.
That includes Kieran and Michael.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So I'm not looking to make any changes there, and they've not knocked on my door and said they don't want to continue. So hopefully we're the same setup, yeah.
Okay, last question.
So you're the permanent manager now, Ole Gunnar. What kind of long-term goals do you want to achieve with Manchester United? Not just trophies, but in general.
As I said here as well, the day I walk out of the doors, I hope it's with a smile on my face, giving the supporters, the staff, the players, the club a good time. And that's all I can do, all I can promise, all I've promised to the owners, to Ed, everyone. I'll always be myself. I'm not going to change. I'll be an optimist and positive guy, and we'll do this together.
Okay, thank you everybody.
Okay.
You served notice to Van Dijk yet? How long has he got?
No, I haven't. So we've got a contract there.
6 months?
I don't know. Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah.